Hi guys, welcome to the Spezia Guide YouTube channel. I'm Lucille and I live in La Spezia, the popular cruise port and gateway to bucket list destinations like Cinque Terre, Florence and Pisa. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to walk from the cruise terminal to the train station so you can start your day's excursion. And to make it a bit more fun, I'm going to point out a few sites in the Spezia so you can start your day's adventure and sightseeing right from when you arrive into port. By the way, if you haven't tuned into this YouTube channel before, please like and subscribe. We do have a number of other videos on La Spezia and Cinque Terre, and on our website you'll also find some great content including helpful guides, especially for cruise ship passengers. Okay, let's make a start. When you first arrive into La Spezia port, if you haven't arranged a cruise excursion and you're going to go it alone, then you can jump on the free shuttle buses. These buses will take you to the cruise terminal, and when you exit the cruise terminal building, you have the option to walk straight down the promenade and then northwest towards the train station, which is probably the route that most tourists will take. But I want to show you an alternative walk that includes beautiful piazzas, historic buildings, frescoes, and cultural highlights. So instead of heading along the promenade from the cruise terminal building, you need to cross Viale Italia and head towards the large circular building, which is the Cathedral of Christ the King. This modern cathedral is often overlooked by tourists, but I highly recommend you take a quick diversion. From the large piazza called Piazza Europa, you can climb the stairs up towards the cathedral entrance and take a quick peek inside to admire its monumental scale and textured concrete interior. When I first saw inside this cathedral, it reminded me of the underside of a mushroom. I'm not sure that's exactly what the architects had in mind, but it's certainly a stark contrast from the typical ornate Italian cathedrals that you'll see around Italy. After the cathedral, you can continue your journey southwest towards Piazza Giuseppe Verdi. This is another modern statement in the Spezian urban development. In Piazza Verdi, there are some striking modern features, including the square arches, some of which are mirrored. Surrounding the modern elements, you'll find elegant Liberty-style buildings. These beautiful palazzi, with their ornate details, offer a fascinating contrast to the piazza's contemporary design. You'll also find a few nice coffee shops, including Mazzachin and Bar Tonelli, which are a couple of our favourites. You can walk the full length of Piazza Verdi towards Via Domenico Chiodo. Via Chiodo is where you'll find beautiful arched porticos that are adorned with frescoed ceilings. In the summer heat, this is a great way to get some shade. Walking under the porticos, you'll also find artisanal shops and one of my favourite bakeries called Fratelli di Teglia. These guys do amazing focaccia, sold by the slice, and you can eat them plain or with delicious toppings like sun-dried tomatoes, onions and anchovies. Anchovies, of course, being a local favourite. After about 400 metres along Via Domenico Chiodo, you need to take a right-hand turn onto Via del Prione. Via del Prione is one of La Spezia's most historic streets. This street has been the backbone of La Spezia for centuries. In the past, there have been many merchants, carts, street vendors and people busy with the day's commerce, but today is very much about taking a stroll, shopping and relaxing in one of the many cafes. By the way, don't worry about getting lost, because I will include a link to a Google My Map in the description below. As you continue along Via del Prione, after about 100 metres or so, I recommend you take a quick diversion over into Piazza San Agostino. There you'll find one of La Spezia's most stunning palazzos. Palazzo Oldioni is a spectacular example of Liberty architecture that has survived World War II. This piazza is also home to a monument to Richard Wagner, the great German musician who spent time in La Spezia and is said to have found inspiration here. After this quick diversion, you can continue on Via del Prione. Keep an eye out for the old buildings that line the street. While some parts of La Spezia were damaged during World War II, enough of the old city remains to appreciate the historical architecture, often with elegant details and character. After a few hundred metres in the Old Town Street, it opens out into Piazza Giuseppe Garibaldi. Then you need to take Via Fiume, heading in a northerly direction until you get to Piazza St. Bon. Across the road from Piazza St. Bon, you'll see some colourful buildings, and here you'll find a few more architectural delights before reaching the train station. Depending on the time of year when you arrive, the train station can be really busy. A lot of the people queuing here are heading to Cinque Terre. They're queuing up for their train pass. I have stood in that queue and it's no fun. It can sometimes take an hour to get to the front of the queue in order to buy the Cinque Terre travel card, and then you still may need to queue to get on the train. If you only have one day here, I highly recommend that you buy a Cinque Terre card in advance. The Cinque Terre card is an all-day travel pass, so you can jump on and off the trains all day to explore the Cinque Terre villages. Of course, La Spezia Centrale train station also links with other popular locations, including Pisa, Lucca and Florence. Take a look at the laspeziaguide.com blog, where I talk about how to do easy day trips to these other locations. So let me just talk about how long this walk will take. If you want to do it at a reasonable pace without any stops, then this walk will take you about 25 minutes. However, if you want to do the stops, do the sightseeing, the little diversions that I talked about, and take some photographs, maybe grab a coffee, then plan for around about an hour. On the return trip, you can follow Via del Prione southeast all the way to the harbour until you reach the promenade, and then you can walk along the promenade back towards the cruise terminal. And again, I will put a link in the description below so that you have a handy map. So that's how to walk from La Spezia Cruise Terminal to the train station. I hope I've inspired you to explore the old town of La Spezia and to take a few minutes to admire some of La Spezia's more interesting sights. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.